Thanks for the F Shack. Love Dirty Mike and the boys.
Hey, are you Dirty Mike and the boys? How you know who we are?
What's this? They call it the podcast?
Morning Good. Oh, I love
Hey, welcome to the air. Thanks. Oh, wait, I'll start over.
Welcome to Morning Good.
Zach Hesson, all right.
Whoa.
Yeah, company.
Laugh track.
Oh, dude, I want to fucking noise boxes are so, or what do you call them? Like fucking soundboards?
Yeah. Soundboards. Yeah. No, well, I used to be.
Okay, how'd you stop?
Dude, I did. I heard you could do like the patch, the
Okay.
gum. So I just did it all. I did the patch, the gum, and that's pretty much it. I was always smoking. Yeah.
What kind of worked for me was I just want something in my mouth and
And you're not gay. are
No.
you?
Okay.
Okay.
I don't think that's a part of being. I don't think that would be funny if it was like all an oral fixation. They're like, I wasn't gay. I just needed something to suck on, and
Yeah. Yeah.
that made the most logical
Too many
sense.
cavities. Not. Yeah. I get it.
Yeah, they're like, it reminds me of my mother's tit that I left too early, so now
Sure.
I have to suck a man's penis because it's the closest thing. Maybe you'd have to suck a small man's dick if that was the thing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Can you expand on that?
Yeah. I like that you said that like this is like a CNN interview.
Yeah.
Can you?
What do you, yeah.
No, that'd be so fun. Just not expand. Just say crazy shit in an interview. Be like, I'm not gonna. Yes, the Chinese babies are gonna take over the world. Anyways, expand on that. No.
Yeah.
Zero explanation. But you were saying, okay, so you were smoking because I would smoke as a kid,
Yeah.
but like not. I would just do it to look cool and feel cool. But I never got addicted until like a year ago. Now I'm addicted to the billows.
I used to do it just to get grounded. You ever?
Okay, yeah,
you
yeah.
ever do it as a kid? No, I did it the same thing to be cool. I was always smelling like cigarettes, right? I was always getting caught. I never
Yeah.
really tried to hide it, but I got super addicted pretty early,
Yeah.
and I didn't realize like being addicted was just like being mad all the time and obsessed with. Oh, I got to get a cigarette. Like that sucked. I was like, oh, I'm not going to be good at this.
Wait, so how long have you quit?
Oh, I've been quit for like 11 years now, 10 years.
Oh,
I
shit.
smoked from like 13 to 19.
Wait, where'd you grow up, by the way?
Virginia,
Am I
Maryland.
closer? Oh well. Also, I feel like there isn't Virginia. Isn't where they make tobacco?
Yeah, tobacco capital.
Yes, that's probably like a big like.
It was easy, yeah.
Everybody's doing it.
Yeah, I was a big cigarette guy. And yeah, I mean, I loved it. My mom smoked cigarettes, so I was always stealing them from her,
Yeah. Did she
but-
notice?
Yeah, I was pretty egregious.
Yeah.
There'd be like, I'd just take the whole pack sometimes. Like, oh, I don't know, Mom. You just lost it, Sometimes I would just take like 4 or 5 out of like a new pack, but
Yeah, that's pretty obvious.
it's pretty, yeah. The best is when she's got like 4 missing and I'll take another 4, I
Yeah,
try
yeah.
to hide it, but so dude.
Or you know what you should do? Did you have siblings?
Yeah.
What you should do is you should steal 4 cigarettes or 5.
Yeah.
Put 1 in your sister's room,
Mhm.
and then so when your mom's walking by, you're like, "That's the culprit right there. It's not me."
That's a good idea. My sister was 4 years old.
Yeah, that'd have been really tough. You're like,
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. She learned from you. She's just
Yeah.
smoking.
That's actually funny. So that's actually when I was a baby, my mom told me I would take her cigarettes and run around with them in my mouth.
Dang,
Pretending to
so you
be
really
her.
did.
So I did do that. Yeah. It
They
sounds like
do
a bit.
mimic, dude. My brother's got a kid, and I got it to. I've like taught the kid things. I don't even spend that much time with it.
Mhm.
I will just like
It.
it.
That's
It's still an it. Like it's
Yeah.
not a dude. It's
Yeah,
just like It's very personalityless to me. I mean, it's
You're very close. You and it are very close.
yeah,
exact.
but it's still an it. I still have not got to the point where I'm like, this is human.
Sure.
But it is like I'm gonna continue calling it.
Sure. No, it's good.
Like clapping. I taught the baby how to clap,
Mhm.
and then I taught the baby how to like put its hands in the air. So now it mimics. Like we had a whole moment where we were sitting around the table, and I started doing this, and then the baby started doing that,
Mhm.
and then we're all actually laughing at the same thing. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. But my dad's like, isn't it amazing that you have this connect? I'm like, I don't have any like. It's related to me, and I feel like a sense of protection around it. But I'm not like me and this baby are really connecting. How fucking stupid would I have to be connecting with a baby? You know what I mean? I'm like, nah, I'm on
So primal.
grown up shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's ever watching Barney like a fucking nerd. I'm like,
Yeah.
nah.
Yeah. No, that's fun.
Yeah, my parents didn't smoke, but I did take one of my dad's boner pills last week. And that I did feel bad about because the date on it was recent. So it's like
Okay.
he's, because I've taken it before. I'm like, oh, this is like an old thing of boner pills. But I'm like, oh, no, this is like his like most current
Yeah.
thing. So I'm like, yeah, I probably shouldn't do that. But I don't know if I don't know if he noticed.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You
'Cause
should bring it up. Sounds like a good bonding experience.
yeah, I'm like, dude, they're sick, right? Because he knows I take boner pills, and he's like, "Why are you
Yeah.
taking boner pills?" I'm like, well, you don't have to talk about this, Dad.
Yeah.
But it is a thing too. But I guess we do because he's like, "Why are you taking my boner pills?" I'm like, "Dad, this is an inappropriate discussion." He's like, "No, you're stealing my boner pills."
Yeah.
But
Damn.
it is. Yeah, I don't know. I take the blue chews or whatever, not all the time, but like it's nice just to know it's there. And but you know what's fucking crazy to me? Have you heard of the honey pack things from like the gas stations?
No.
So it always hears people rant about honey packs, and they're like, they're these things, they're these like you suck the honey out like a little, like imagine like a little packet of honey,
Yeah.
and they're like, and the boners work, and I'm like, I don't believe that.
What? Okay. Yeah.
And then I looked it up, and they're literally selling Cialis and it's one of those things that like they just haven't had time to say no. But I'm like, literally, they're selling prescription erection pills.
Yeah.
'Cause Viagra's basically Cialis, and I'm like, oh, how are they? It's one of those weird things. Like, you ever go to like a smoke shop or something? Well, you don't.
No.
You're sober, but like,
I've been. Yeah.
but like, or like gas station has all these things, and then it's like shroom juice, and you're like, what are these? And they're just selling. It's like when we were in high school, they would sell. How old are you?
31.
Okay, so I'm 29. So it's like they had like K2 and like bath salts. They're still just doing all that.
But they're doing with other drugs, like mushrooms?
I guess so. I mean, like, there's always an analog where you could just change. Like, that's the funniest thing when, like, people do drugs, and I'm very big on testing drugs most of the time, but people, like, don't realize. They're like, what are you talking about? It's acid, I tripped. I'm like, there's, like, thousands of chemicals out there that just, like.
I know.
Yeah.
When I was a teenager, like a menace, we used to go on, like, Silk Road. I don't know if you're.
I remember Silk Road.
You could buy. That's when I got introduced to Bitcoin. This is actually pretty sad. Like, you'd spend, I don't know, you'd buy Bitcoin for like $20 or less or whatever, and then you buy drugs or something.
Yeah.
Right. When I was a teenager, and you get shipped whatever. Right. You could get the name brand stuff, or you get a knockoff whatever chemical.
Yeah.
For like way cheaper. So,
way cheaper, and it was like, it was so funny because I heard the quality control in there was very strict. Because like my friends had Silk Road, like I think I saw it on somebody's laptop before, and they kind of showed me how it worked. But they're like, the quality control here is really intense. Like they were like, because they're like, they don't want people selling bad drugs on there. But you could also pay to have somebody murdered. So their moral boundaries were so weird. They were like, you better not be selling some bunk shit on here that's cut with anything. But if you want to assassinate your neighbor, we'll go over there and shoot him in the fucking head.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, Silk Road was kind of a crazy time in my life. I remember, just getting kind of sucked into that world.
Do we explain what? So it's an online, imagine eBay, but for black market stuff.
Yeah, you had to to even get in, you had to download a couple programs. You had to get like the dark web type of. It doesn't really matter that.
How do they? I like the idea of them being like, "Are you like an interview? Like, are you ready for the dark web?"
Yeah,
and you're like, "Dude, I got skull rings on." Like, you're like, "I'm fucking." Like, a lot of people have applied to be on the dark web.
Yeah, This was what 2010.
I'd have to wear these shades to get on there. I love these. Sorry to get off topic.
Cool guy. Yeah,
I love these. They look ridiculous. But anyways, continue.
No, but yeah, it was. I mean, I was a teenager. I didn't really know what I was doing. I just knew I had friends. They wanted to they were smoking weed. They wanted to try other stuff. They found the dark web. They just introduced me, and then we just go to 7-Eleven, buy Bitcoin or $20 worth of crypto.
You could buy crypto at 7-Eleven?
We would just buy it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was just like, or any convenience store. We would just buy $20 worth. Do that. Yeah, and then you just give it to, like, I don't really know what happened. They but it was pretty cool,
Yeah, because my buddy, I remember my friend cashed out when he thought it was like a good time to cash out on Bitcoin. Yeah. And he just like bought like a bag of DMT, and then it was like he found out later. He's like, that would have been worth so much money if I would have just stayed in the crypto gang.
Yeah, that's exactly what we did. DMT, really all the psychedelics or whatever. Just seeing what world's out there, and it was crazy. I mean, I got sober shortly after that.
Yeah,
like that kind of helped expedite the process, right? Because I did drugs for like 14 to 19 or whatever.
Yeah,
smoking weed, drinking, doing whatever.
You got sober at 19?
Yeah.
That's so. I know a lot of people like that where they get sober before they can even legally drink.
Yeah, that was.
You're not missing the fun part. The fun part's when you can't legally drink.
Yeah, yeah. No, I know that was always so frustrating because I felt like I could get anything. I could never buy alcohol, but I could do all this other stuff, right? And
Yeah.
I didn't really want to do the other stuff, but I couldn't. I had to do something, right? I was just so crazy
Yeah.
with that. So, but then I got sober, and then I was like, oh, you know what? This is because I'd drink, I'd black out, make a fool of myself. I was like, this isn't even fun, anyways.
Well, that is also the really funny part. I mean, I'm very happy for you being sober, but also I think there is a thing that when you're drinking when you're 19, that's an interesting thing because like you learn how to drink better when you get older, so you don't have those. But it is very funny that like you just saw like because a lot of people were doing that at 19. Like I'm saying, like, and then a lot of us continue to drink. But like, I mean, I think, dude, if I didn't, like, I'm sure I'd be more productive. And it's just like the choice I made. I'm like, I'm not gonna get sober, but maybe that'll change at some point. Like I do take long breaks, but yeah. Was there like one night that you're like, that was it? You know,
a couple, yeah. I mean, I've like I'd wake up in the hospital and stuff,
okay,
and I'd be like, but like in that morning, I'd be like, oh, that was crazy. Like I'm done. But then by that night, I'd be like, I'll just drink less.
Yeah.
You know, I'll just be a little more careful.
Yeah,
And then I'd be back at the hospital a few days later. Like it's just kind of a cyclical, just never ending. So like, I'm just not good at it.
Yeah.
So, because for me, I'd be handling it well, handling my alcohol, doing fine, and then I'd black out and then act crazy, right? So it's like things would be fine, and then something would short circuit, and I don't know, blackout, get naked, be out of your mind, and that's not fun. It's not fun to really find out what happened. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it's like I wake up with a black eye. And
yeah, I'm not a big drunk fighter, but it's also one of those things I've never gone to the hospital for it. And like now it's like I'm not even getting close to it's like I have this weird thing that every time I black out, people are like, you literally just left the bar, and we're like, and then just got like I have a weird external ability to just go home and know when it's been too much. But for me, it's more like the casual drinks I think I need to cut out because it's like. Sometimes you show up to a bar and you're nervous, and then you're like, and I'm sure it was the same like in high school where you show up to a party and you're like, I'm gonna be drunk so I could socialize maybe a little bit. And then that's like more of a crutch for me than like the drinking too much. It's more of like oh, okay, like I showed up here. But you realize also like the more like longer I'll go for sober for, I'm like, oh, you'll just loosen up the longer you're out at a bar. It's like the second you get there, there's all this like fucking people and stuff like that. But also for you, you're probably like, I just want to show the people around me a better time. Like one of my friends wants to do acid at Universal with me on Saturday. And I'm like, I'm going to ruin your day. Like, it's not, I'm like, this isn't like they're like, yeah, it's just like a tiny bit. I'm like, you don't understand. I'm doing this so you have a better time. I'm not doing, I mean, obviously so I have a better time, but I'm like, it's not going to be fun for me.
Yeah. Well, you don't even need the fast pass. If you do acid at Universal, it's all fun, right?
I think
fun in line.
The fucking what's it called? Like just the gift shop will be like, wow,
yeah.
But I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't need
that's cool.
Because it's funny because I talked to my therapist about it. I was like, oh, part of me wants to do it just because it's a really scary idea, and then she's like, it's great you're trying to push yourself, but like if you're just gonna have a bad day at the theme park, like why would you? And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Like I think acid's a little more easier to handle in public places than like mushrooms, but I'm also like, I don't need to be like panicking in Seussland.
Yeah. Yeah. With kids around.
Oh yeah. No.
Like, oh, these rides are scary. The kids are dude.
But it's also hard too, because like there's certain things that like so for example, like I've gone to the zoo stoned and it's so much more fun. And then like a couple months later I went to it sober recently and I was like, okay, this isn't quite the same thing. But it's also like I think I could have fun at Universal Studios without being on LSD. I think it's enough. There's enough going on there.
Yeah.
And I have like a
child's
brain already that I'm like, yeah, I like stuff like that. Are you a big theme park guy?
Yeah. I mean, we used to go to Universal a ton. I'm also when I was a teenager, I would go to the zoo on acid.
Yeah.
So I've done those novel experiences on drug, but I don't know. I mean, it's fun. It's exciting. I think the idea of it is probably more fun than doing it because it's kind of intimidating. It's super overwhelming.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Crazy.
I don't want to be taking pictures with Spider-Man and then like thinking he's a cop or something. I'm like, that sounds like a bad day.
Yeah, yeah, dude. I mean, it'll be fun. If for someone who has never done it, I think it's, dude, I don't know.
That sounds like a terrible place because I haven't done it in 10 years. I did it in college one time. And I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
think the time to do it 10 years later is.
Oh, you haven't done it in 10 years?
Yeah. I'm like, that's
Oh,
a
yeah.
terrible idea.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah. And my friend, she's just like, no, it'll be like, she's like, it's this spray of liquid acid. I'm like, first off, that doesn't
Jesus.
sound good.
Yeah.
She's like, but it's like 1/16 of a tab in the whole bottle. So like, and I'm like, yeah, but I'm going to get I'm like, this is just not, I know me. I'm like, you may be able to, I love people. Same thing with like edibles. They're like, no, this is like, I'm like, no, you know you, I know me. And this is not going to be fun for me.
You could, I mean, she could just do it and then you could just hang out.
Especially if
That's
she's
probably better, to be honest.
yeah, especially if she's taking 1/16. I'm like, it's not like she's gonna be tripping balls.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't need to also be doing that. But what was the zoo like on acid?
It was crazy. We were walking in. We was in downtown DC, just walking around smoking.
That's the one I went to a month ago.
Oh, yeah.
Smithsonian, yeah.
just smoking cigarettes, which I didn't know you weren't allowed to smoke cigarettes in the zoo. I think I had no idea.
Well,
And-
because some of the animals like them. Like, you know, there's chimps that'll like
Really?
in I think China, there's like a chimp who like just fucking rips stogies.
Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we would just be walking around smoking cigarettes, just kind of like, because it's cool. You're like on acid or whatever. You're looking at stuff. That's what everyone's doing. Like,
Yeah.
oh, this looks cool. It's not like that abnormal. But yeah, it was. I think my buddy of mine, he did only half of his acid, and then we were smoking cigarettes, and he accidentally threw the other. He like put it in a cigarette pack, and he threw the pack away. So for half of our time at the zoo, we went through digging through trash cans at the zoo, which is crazy.
Yeah.
It's it looks it's not what I wanted to do, but
Yeah.
he found it, which was really cool.
Yeah.
But we looked crazy for about an hour.
Yeah, I'm sure, dude. That look, especially because the zoo is free. So, like, dude, if
Yeah.
I was a homeless guy, I'd go to the Smithsonian all the time.
Yeah, and there were homeless people there.
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah.
come on, dude.
They just sneak in and try to get some of the lion's food. They're like, dude, what
Yeah.
about a steak for me? And you're like, no, this is just for a lion.
Yeah, and we did right after the zoo. After we went through the trash, we found it. We went to this abstract art museum, which was awesome. Another place where it's like we could just look at stuff. It looks cool, and it was good. We were playing it cool, just being art, whatever connoisseurs, and we held up a line because we were looking at this sign. It said, like, please no smoke. It was just like a regular sign that said, please no smoking, but it looked so abstract that we didn't know, and then we just kind of. It's not hilarious, but
no, don't even worry about that, dude. We're just having.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated.
No, but it was a cool because you're in this weird environment, abstract art thing. You can touch stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So that
See,
was
I
like
think the
a cool
museum
experience.
seems a little more tolerable than Universal Studios.
Oh yeah, Universal. There's so much noise. There's screaming constantly. There's kids running around. It's crazy.
Yeah, and I think I will just stare at it, and I think I'm just gonna look at kids all day and just think about like I used to be a kid. And I used to come here, and I used to not have to do drugs to come here. I just know
Yeah.
where my brain will go, and I'm like, it'll just be the weirdest was I would do drugs at concerts, and then I would think I was those other people. Like I would do like a bunch of Molly or like shrooms at a concert or something, and then I would look at like some guy who's like 40 who like is just disgusting looking. I'd be like, I'm the same as that guy because we listen to the same music. And then I
Yeah.
was like, no. Like later on, I'd be
Yeah.
like, no, that's not at all what was happening.
Yeah.
Like one of my friends, actually my producer of this podcast, we were on trips to the beach, and then there was this crazy homeless guy named Uncle Mike, who we have a couple friends that they went to the beach during spring break in high school, and they showed up just with a 26-year-old bum, and like, this is Uncle Mike. And then we see him the next day. We're doing shrooms, and there's a kid juggling sticks. And one of my friends, they showed up to Smyrna Beach, no shrooms, no money. They would just steal pub subs all day.
Nice.
And I don't even know, they'd sleep on the beach. They were just fully bumming it. And one of my friends is like, oh, that's cool. How about you light it on fire, pussy? And this kid takes kerosene and starts juggling fire in front of us on on Flagler at New Smyrna Beach.
Whoa.
And they were like, damn. And then we're going to throw up the shrooms. And then Uncle Mike is like, he's speaking like nonsense drug stuff. He's like, you need to make sure you don't lose a psilocin. It's the 7th poison in the mushroom, which I know what psilocin is. I'm like, it's not like the 7th poison. It's not like, he's like, you have to tough it out. And then he gets this crowd of people who are like, he's like, they're about to throw up their shrooms. Make sure they don't throw them up. And this crowd of people is just like, keep it down. Don't throw up the shrooms. While we're just like, because like the come up on shrooms is very like nauseating.
Yeah, yeah.
And then my buddy was like, dude, oh fuck, man, I'm gonna become Uncle Mike, man. He's like, I'm gonna become this guy, which is just not at all.
Yeah.
But I feel like shrooms are more introspective and acids. A lot of people say acids more like you're more like looking at stuff around you compared to like thinking deeply about yourself. But either way, I'm like, dude, I can go to Universal, have a fun day without being on LSD. I think.
I think you would have a more fun day not being on LSD.
Yeah.
It just seems too stimulating. Too many. The big thing for me would be it's super hot. The screaming, the sounds. Plus you have all the visual. It's just so much overwhelming.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
stimulus.
ride any rides because I've done that where I just like. I've gone to a concert on like something, and then I need to go in the bathroom because I'm having a bad time, and then everybody around you is just like, "Oh, he's got to go to the bathroom again because he's like, texting his mom or like something just really."
Yeah, that's happened to me all the time because I was always smoking weed or something before an event, and I'd always smoke too much. I'd always overshoot, and then I'd be freaking out, be like, "Oh, everybody knows I'm high."
Yeah,
and which is usually not true. But this one time it was true. At my buddy's 16th birthday party, I got way too high. I had no eye drops. I'm kind of awkward anyways, but I was super awkward there. I'm like, dude, it was terrible.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I'm just being paranoid. And then my buddy's dad came up to me. He's like, are you on drugs?
It's like,
and it really just kind of ruined the day. I was like, oh man, this is a nightmare.
Yeah. Oh, when people no, and they're staring at you. I would have that where I come home high, mom would be like, are you high? But I'd be like, no. Because every time I walked in the door, she thought I was high. So like it was, and now it's like I'm 29, so they don't care. They cared a lot before I got to Madison Square Garden. Not a lot, but they were just kind of like, come on. And now I'm kind of in a weird boat with them where they're like, well, he's finally getting somewhere with his career, so we can't like, not like we can't tell him to chill the fuck out, but they're like, all right, well, like, he's not just doing nothing. Because now it's like, they're weird where they don't care. In New York, they don't need me to text me every night saying I'm home safe. But I'm here, I'll just go out and like sleep at like a friend's place or something like that. And then they'll think that I'm like dead or something. And I'm like, no, I'm just not at like, especially if I'm like getting laid. I'm not going to text my mom at like 3 a.m. Like, hey, by the way, I'm totally safe. I met this girl. Like, I'm not going to do that. So it's like, they get a little more paranoid. But they're friends. The funny is their friends went to the show on the 8 p.m. on Friday.
Show, yeah.
And they were like, I think they told somebody that was interesting.
Are they comedy fans?
I think they are. I'm just so like, I think that was a good moment for me because I had to be like, all right, well, I had a couple jokes bomb or whatever. And I was like, this is what I do. And it was very like cutting that part. Because I don't know if you struggle with that at all, but I definitely struggle with like, you have like family friends or something. And they're like, dude, the worst is my ex's family, and then you gotta like describe. They're like, you're never like funny around us. Like, what am I talking about? Butt fucking your daughter to your face? It's like that's insane. No, I'm gonna be like, good to see you. Good, you know what I mean? It's like I'm not. I don't know.
Jesus.
Well, because neither of us do. I mean, I'm sure you said you. I know you can do clean comedy, but it's like not what I specialize in. So it's like I'm not randomly just with like real adults and being like, ooh, just doing like I'm not like Jim Carrey. I can't do like impressions and then just be like silly on the spot like that.
Yeah, most of my stuff's pretty. I mean, I think it's pretty clean, but I'll pander sometimes to the crowd. Like I did the gay bar show yesterday.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of going.
Yeah.
I'm kind of overcompensating. Like fellas, just really pandering to this. So I'm kind of playing it up quite a bit to the room. But if I had to do the other way, like, oh, there's like kids in the audience.
Yeah.
I'll do crowd work. Like, oh, anyone here play Roblox?
Oh shit.
Right? I'm really, because the parents, they get it, right? I just want, if the kids are having fun, but if they're kids there, I'm not going to talk about cum or anything, right? That's crazy.
But that's where they came from. They should learn.
That's true. You guys remember?
Yeah. Just giving kids the talk in your comedy set. So there's fucking, right? So y'all got penises. They're gonna get hard.
Yeah.
When you meet somebody you love.
Yeah. It's crazy.
That's so funny that because mine's the opposite. I've had to pander the other way where I'm too dirty. Because like there's so many times where I wish I like did clean comedy, but it's so funny that you feel like you have to pander dirty because I feel like I have to spoon feed myself to the audience. The opposite.
It's changing a little bit. Like I'm definitely getting a little more sex themed stuff than I'm used to. I'd rather skew more silly. Because I don't feel like I have to talk about sex and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's just funny. Like just stuff pops up. I'm like, oh, this is just really riffing in the moment. It's so easy to go to the sex angle as long as it's creative, right?
Talking to the guy who is looking at the material constantly, being like, "It's so much cum." I'm like, "It's so much cum," and I'm like, I have to like wedge in a different joke, and I'm like, dude, that's why I really want to do. I want to start my roommate. I've done improv in college, but I'm like, I know there's other funny parts of me that I'm not accessing because stand up's so like. First off, I don't want to be like an edgy comedian who's just like, constantly talking about certain things. But I'm also like, I'm not afraid of certain things. I'm like, if this is funny, and I don't want to worry about offending an audience if I think it's funny. But I also don't want to be like, okay, this is all my material and it's all dark or dirty. So I want to like, go back and do some improv like jams. That's a word, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where they play, yeah.
Yeah, just for one to become less rigid, and for two to just become more like, because I know I'm a silly person. Like in texts, I'm silly, and it's not always sexual or dirty or dark. But
that's cool.
Because it's easy with stand up too, especially if you're just around comedians, and they're just like, and then I fucking came in a skull, and you're like, you're like, I don't know if this is good for me to always be in that mindset.
Yeah, no, I think I've always wanted to get into improv. I grew up watching like Whose Line Is It Anyway, like all those classic.
Yeah.
I've also done like a lot of shows where you like riff shows, right? Where you go up no material, you're just kind of pulling topics, riffing, which is kind of like improv, stand up ish.
Yeah.
But that's fun because I agree. Like I like stand up. I think it's fun. That's why I like riffing a little more. It's kind of like improving, being in the moment. I'd also like to try to more sketch stuff, right? Like see other parts of me that I think are funny that maybe don't suit themselves well to a strictly stand up.
Yeah.
Right. Because I could be more physical, a little more animated, which I think is especially funny in stand up, but has strengths, I think, in other,
Yeah. And some things don't work as a bit. Like that Back to the Future bit I have. Somebody's like, you should make that a sketch because it just doesn't work as a bit. Because some people like don't know Back to the Future, this isn't that. And I'm like, yeah, you're kind of right. Like there are certain things that just won't apply there. And then seeing the formats are crazy. All the POV formats. There's like all kinds of. One of my favorite. I saw a sketch the other day was like POV. You're Stuart Little and your ID gets denied. I loved that. I was like, it's so funny.
Yeah, so funny. I did see that, and they actually used POV correctly.
Yeah. Because he was like this small.
Yeah.
He was like, look it up. Yeah.
Usually, it's so funny, dude. I definitely want to do more of those because I'll have like creative ideas that I'll try to distill into like a stand up bit, and it just won't. Yeah, it's just weird. It's just like it's a muted version. It's still maybe kind of funny, but not as hilarious as I think it could be. So
and you don't know
do that.
And you don't know why it's not working. Like there's so much shit that I'm like, I don't know why this is not working. There's like 9 reasons you might think it's not working, but you don't even know what the thing is. Like people are like, people don't remember Back to the Future, or they're like, it's kind of a rape joke, but I don't know what is not like working about it. But it is that was really eye-opening too, because it's the first time, like the first show was like 60% people I didn't know, or maybe 70, and then 30% I did know. And then a couple jokes just fell completely flat and full of with 30 people in the room that know me.
Yeah.
And they were like, nope. And one of them I was going to do with the Madison Square Garden show. And I was like, all right, well, I'll put that away for a little bit or try to get it to work.
Damn. Wow.
Yeah.
Because I didn't see the 8 p.m. I saw the 10 p.m. was great.
Yeah.
I thought. I mean, they were rowdy.
Oh, that was, for people that don't know, the 10 p.m., I posted on my story, don't be on ketamine or too drunk, and a chick passed out. All my friends were heckling, and it was really a lot of crowd control. But it was still fun. Like, I watched the set, I was like, okay, I felt more me on that show than the 8 p.m., where I'm just like, because what was your experience with it?
I mean, I was just hosting, right? So it was fine. I'm used to like playing with, like if people heckle, I don't mind. I'll like play with it. You'll be in the moment as long as it's funny across the board.
Yeah.
But I was getting them a little more riled up. So I don't know. I kind of struggle with that sometimes because I like getting them riled up and then I'll just leave it for the next guy. But I'm hosting.
But that's hosting. That's like a bad thing to do, unfortunately. But
I know. I usually don't do that, but at that show, I felt like I was doing that. And I was like, wait, I gotta put a ribbon on this. These guys they're young crowd.
Yeah.
Right? Got to keep stop them from getting riled up. But then the feature went on. He just immediately started getting them riled up. It felt like, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Started
yeah.
immediately crowd working, getting them re-engaged, which is fine. Because I mean, they were a young crowd. That's what they wanted. It felt like,
Right. Yeah.
but you had jokes you wanted to do.
I know. I was like, I knew them by name. I was like, shut the fuck up,
Yeah.
Stephen. I was like, shut the fuck. I'm using a placement name there. I don't know any Stevens anymore. There's one in jail. But I was just like, shut up. Like in the back of my mind, I was like, I know shit about all you guys that I could just fucking start. I could start saying your most embarrassing secrets if you don't shut the
It'd be
fuck up.
crushing. It probably would have crushed.
It probably would, yeah. But they'd be like, dude, my fucking girlfriend's here. My new girlfriend's here. Or somebody I'm trying to hook up with. Yeah, chick passed out. People were heckling. It is really funny though, because I love the people that are like, I'm trying to help the show. I'm like, first off, it's not true, because do you think I really believe in the goodness of your own heart? You care that much about the show and not more about becoming the center of it. I know I don't hate you, because I'm like, I want to be the center of attention. That's why I do this. But it's very funny to be like, no, I'm like, not a single person heckles who is not a giant attention whore. It's never happened. Nobody's been like out of the good. They're like, you know what? I'm gonna go to this show, and I care so deeply that the show goes well that I'm gonna have 9 vodka sodas before, and then just start yelling what I want to talk about. It's like that's not what it is.
Yeah, dude, that is the absolute worst. And I'll try to roll with it, because I'm too nice, I think.
Yeah.
Because like I said, like I'll roll with the heckles. I'll try to make it funny. But it gets to a point, like once it stops being funny, it becomes annoying. Like I actually can't do any material.
Yeah.
That's when, because you can feel when, the audience starts to get kind of annoyed. They want to just hear jokes.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of audience members, they don't want to hear these heckles. It's just kind of annoying.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and it's totally okay to bomb when silencing the audience, because like you're the host. It's like one of those things that I think people are like, oh, I made the show uncomfortable, but it's like anybody afterwards should, in general, and not any show, even like it's like, but like it was like, I'm not mad at anybody. It was a great night. We sold out both. I was like super happy about that, and I'm like, what? Like it's like people like a day later were like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, no, it's fine. It's just like you just can't be doing that there. But I'm not like. You're telling the guys gonna do acid at Universal. I'm not supposed to do that there. You're not supposed to be too drunk here. I'm not supposed to do acid. So like, I get it.
Yeah, nice.
But like, if I'm having a bad acid trip and I get escorted from Universal Studios, I'm not gonna be like, that security guard deeply hates me. He's just like, no, you just can't.
Yeah,
be
exactly.
Doing this right now. This is Seuss land, and
you're crying. You're crying. Yeah, crazy, dude. Yeah, and I don't mind being the bad guy, because I know hosting, you got to control the show. I typically don't want to do it early before I've done my set. I still want to be funny.
Yeah.
But then after, I'll be like, you guys gotta tighten up. This is crazy. You can't keep heckling. But I was never gonna kick out any of your friends, obviously.
I was.
Oh,
ready.
you were?
Oh, yeah. I was talking to Joe before, because he has the show before. I was like, hey, I might need you to like literally kick out people I know with me.
I saw that actually. Yeah.
But I think it's also a thing too, that's like everybody has their own way of controlling a crowd, and like whatever your way, it's like you're gonna, like you're gonna learn whatever works best for you, and then it's like, because you're new to stand up, right?
Yeah, a few years in.
Yeah, and you're fucking hilarious and very talented. But like I remember I fucking would go too soft, and then I would go too hard, and then I was like, all right, let me find a sort of the Louis way. I think the Louis way is hilarious.
Yeah.
Apparently, he literally just goes, he'll be doing a joke, like a silly joke. He'd be like, shut up, shut the fuck up, stop it right now. You're not supposed to be doing that. Anyways, so like, and it just does, just so crazy. But it is funny too, because this is ultimate payback. Because when I was a kid, I wouldn't shut the fuck up when the teachers were talking, and I'd always get kicked out of class, and I'd be like, now I'm the teacher, and I'm like, I have to talk, and then I'm getting mad at it. I'm like, I deserve every bit of heckling that's ever came to me.
Yeah. Dude, that's so funny. Yeah, I don't know where I stand with it, because I think I just try to propel the show forward, because a heckle it could just stop a bit. So I try to roll with it, get a laugh, and then just, dude, move on.
Yeah.
Don't sit with that heckle. Be like, why did you say that? Sometimes that's funny, but it does completely derail my set.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
But it's always, there's like, I've seen new heckles you always think you're like, oh, I've seen how, and you're like, no, I've seen ones that are like, I think the worst one I ever had was this guy that was like, it's really hard to get heckle when you're bombing, because you can't like prove But this one guy heckled. He's like, "You're a fucking pussy." I'm like, "What do you do for work?" And he just stopped talking. And that's a nice joke. He's like, "You're a fucking pussy." And then I'm like, what's your name?" And then just wouldn't talk. And then I was like, "Oh, that's why security is just important to have."
Yeah. Well, that's a case where no one's having fun, and I wouldn't mind getting that guy out of the show. That's crazy. It's derailing the show. It's an obvious nuisance, right?
But it's so hard when you can't see. I can't see this guy looks like.
Oh, that's
I can't
true.
see. It's like a dark room, and he's just heckling. And then I've had ones where I'm show running and I get heckled, and that's the funniest. I go the second I get off stage, and I don't like big digging or disciplining people. Like I'm not into that. Like I'm not. It's not my thing where I'm like, oh yeah, I totally told. I'm like, no, I just like. But I'm show running. I go, I'm gonna kick you out the second I get off stage, and then they're like, whatever. And then I literally like the guys in the front row, and I walk off stage, and while the host is on, I'm like, like instead of walking off to like side of the stage, you just walk directly off the stage and then kick somebody out of the room, which is a very funny visual of just me getting off and then be like, no, you gotta leave. Yeah. I've heard that's my favorite Dice story. Apparently, he showed up to a show and he just didn't like the look on people's faces. Like you got, and he just kicked people out of his show.
What?
Yeah. It's totally unprompted, but it's so funny to just be like, "Nah, I don't like you guys. You guys are getting out of here. These two people right here, yeah, get them out of here." Just for literally no reason.
Wait, that's real?
Yes.
That's crazy.
People don't realize how much of an alt comic he is because he's like so like he used to do a lot of like racist jokes and sexist stuff, but like it was kind of like the thing he exploded with. But you're like, no, he's like, I mean, his character is an alt like it's a fake character, and then he does crazy funny. Have you seen his Man on the Streets?
Mm.
He just walk out to people. He's like, okay, you're here for the signature. You want the famous face? You want the signature? People, it's just like, no, I don't know who you are. He goes, I'll do one, and then we got to get out of here. And then he'll randomly just start a conversation with people, and like mid conversation, he's like, Jerry's going to the thing, like just kind of like, and people are like, what is going on?
Yeah. Dude, that's so funny. Because I feel like I like doing alt. Like I love alt stuff's always been interesting because it's different. It's form bending. It's inherently like a misdirect, right? Because it just subverts your expectations. Like this guy's being crazy, right? It's not what you would expect. It's abnormal. So that's cool. I did not know that about. You said Dice?
Yeah,
Dice,
yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, I gotta watch that. That sounds awesome.
And I've seen him. I saw him because I set up for Kill Tony like years ago at Massacre, and I saw him do a set, and I was like, he's funny. Because like I never got the appeal initially, and then somebody's like, imagine Dice in the back. Grizzly Pear is like this comedy club. It's kind of like a backroom comedy club, and like imagine. It might not be funny when you see a video of it, but imagine a guy in the back of the Grizzly Pear just being like, "And who's this bitch right here with the big old dick?" Like it's got to be really funny if you're in the room. And then I saw him, and I was like, oh, he's good at stand up, and he's so like you don't expect guys like that to be silly. You expect them to go on podcasts and start talking about like the vaccine or something, and then you're like, this guy's just a hilarious crazy person who's just like out of his mind, but like still understands what's funny in such a weird way. I have a friend, Dom Leonelli. He's a really good comic, but his stand up is not alty at all. But he does these sketches that are so alty, and you're like, wow, it's so cool to see people using different parts of their brain that you're like, I didn't know that was also in you because you don't see it in their stand up. Right. But that's like what I said. That's what I struggle with too. Where it's like I like on stage, I'm so rigid and so like structured that I'm like, oh, I really gotta break away from that. Yeah,
that's the thing. Yeah, I feel like that's what I've been trying to do is be less rigid. Because when I started, which was not that a couple years ago, I was super like, okay, how many laughs per minute? Right, very tight jokes. But now I like thrive in the silence. I love when. I mean, it's not that much. I'm building it up like there's a lot of silence. But, the silence, it adds tension. And it's fun for me. Like, I was talking to someone recently. My sets go the best when I'm like jokes either don't land or they crush, right?
Yeah.
When they do okay, that's when it's... Because I have a lot of like safety guards, right? I have a lot of tags that really propel the jokes forward. But not if it's like it does okay, right? That mid ground, it's just weird. Right? Like all of my tags, they kind of don't make as much sense.
Yeah.
Right? Because I try to be like bomb proof, right? Like
it's impossible.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But it's just, it is impossible. So I get comfortable with bombing, comfortable with the silence. And now, I don't know. I mean, then I did the gay bar. And I was like, I'm not gay.
Yeah.
But I'll, which is fine. But I was like, it's Pride Month, first of all. I don't know why I guess I didn't realize it was a gay bar, and I was billed as the headliner.
Did they realize you weren't gay?
Yeah. Yeah, but they didn't. I got booked like a month and a half ago. I didn't realize that. So I was like,
What
I don't
bar
know.
was it?
It was the Parrot in Lakeland.
Okay, yeah, I don't know that one.
No, I don't know. It was it was a fun show, great show. I just felt like it should have maybe been a different different headliner for the month, but they were fun, awesome crowd.
Yeah,
Just different.
Ye-
Not what I'd expected. So.
yeah. Well, that is a funny thing too with yeah, it's I'm trying to think if I've done some pretty gay crowds. I don't know, they're like I think people think for one that they're like sensitive, which is like not a thing at all. I mean, they're taking cocks in their ass. They're not like sensitive people. Like there's such a stereotype too about lesbians. I think that a lot of straight guys are like, oh, it's lesbians. I'm like, nah, they fucking like you can't stereotype literally any audience because they're like the same person exists. The same like angry lesbian, angry conservative guy. That person exists, but that doesn't like that's transgressive to think that that is what that group of people is. It's like there's the frat douchebag, but then there's also like the frat guy who sits in the audience and like really likes comedy and is like, you guys get quiet. Like every type of person exists in whatever group of people. But I don't know. It's a weird thing, but like I having the same thing with like structure thing where it's like, dude, I'll be like, let me wear silly sunglasses on stage in my head. You're just like, don't fucking do that, dude. Just do your fucking nobody. And I'm like, why am I looking at this such a? And I think it's harder sometimes the longer you're doing it because the expectations for yourself are more intense. But then in other ways, you also like just go whatever. Like this one show doesn't mean anything. Versus like when you're starting, you're like, I want to show everybody I'm funny. And then you're like, all right, people could see me. My parents' friends can see me bomb, and it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's like you literally have to show the whole world your butthole and be like, this is what it is. Because there's at least for me, I'm like, oh, there's no point of me panicking about any of this because it's like really holds me back on stage.
Dude, that's so funny. Mike, I had like some coworkers. So I just graduated college or whatever, and some people from school they wanted to see me do stand up, and they went to a show like over a year ago, and I was trying like brand new material that was like not that meat store material that was like not great. I talked about the meat store. It was like a brand new bit. It did not.
Oh, I thought that was
his
his subject about. I thought it was his style of comedy. I was doing meat store bits.
Yeah, you guys though.
You just chop them off. They're not cooked yet. You get them raw.
No, it's not. It was the topic because I thought that it was a funny thing, but I just ran into them like a month ago, and they, even though it bombed pretty hard, they were cracking up. Like they still remember, even though I did so bad at that show, it stuck with them. So I don't know what it is, like because so even if I bomb in front of my friends, they still. I don't know. Something stuck with them. Just seeing me do bad is still funny. And it's working better now, obviously. I mean, that was like the second time I'd done it. So and it was over a year ago, but it sucked, man. Like I don't want to invite friends to go see me perform and then do bad. Because usually that's how it goes, right? And you just did that, right? With your 2 shows.
Yeah, so like the 8 I thought went fine.
Sure.
And I think maybe I've set a higher standard for myself because people were like, "Oh, I loved it." Besides, some family friends that were like, "That was interesting," which is fine. Yeah. I'm talking about like double teaming a guy's wife with them. I get why that would not be like you're like that's that kid that we fucking saw dressed as Batman, 15 years ago. Now he's talking about coming in people's wives' mouths while their husband is watching. But it's nothing. I don't know. It's one of those. And the 10 I thought went really well, and I was like, okay, that was a better. Like I felt better about that show. And I watched basically 2 hours of my own stand up, which is painful, but
damn.
But I did learn a lot from it. I was like, okay, because the 8 what happened is they're getting uncomfortable, and then I just actually dug my feet in and started to do better because I was like, all right, well, this is what I do, and this is how it's going to go, and this is what I'm doing. Versus being like, I think I need when I'm doing those longer sets to do a wilder joke earlier on. Because it'll actually make me more comfortable to go there versus like me like waiting to be like, okay, here's this versus me just going like, okay, that's that. And then it's actually easier to do comfortable jokes after an uncomfortable joke for me because I'm like, I've already dipped my toes into the water of uncomfortability. Like you're talking about the silence a little bit. Like you're like, oh, okay, I could play with the uncomfortability in a way now versus like doing jokes to get them to like me. And then I'm like, now I'm just so worried about them not liking me where if I already have a joke bomb, then I'm like, all right, now I can kind of freely. Because, like, have you ever had those bombs where you feel so free at some point and you're like, oh,
Well, let's see how bad this can go.
Yeah. You're like, I'm in here. It happened to be like a month ago. I was bombing for this really drunk crowd. And I was like, I feel like we're having sex and it's like really bad sex. But But also, like, you guys are so drunk that, and I shouldn't be doing. I feel like I'm date raping you guys right now, but it just was something that I was like. Now I feel really like I'm saying the thoughts of my brain, and it's going to a place that I'm like, oh, this is more comfortable than me. Like, okay, what about this next one? What about this next one? And I'm like, and then I watch my sets, and I'm like, oh, that's where I'm losing is me. Sort of this. I could see, like, other people might not be able to see the nerves the same, but I could see the nerves. Where if I make myself more uncomfortable first, I get comfortable in the.
Right.
It's like exposure therapy.
Yeah, I think, and that's why I still go to like as many open mics as I can, because like I never do. I mean, I do fine at open mics, but like it's never as nearly as good as a show.
Yeah.
Because if I'm doing my material at shows, I'm like doing good. I'm confident, but and then obviously open mics, it's like it's brutal. But going to those empty open mics where it's just like me, the host, and like a bartender. It's part of me, I still like will do a material in that environment just because I like to see like how will I react if the jokes don't work, which it can never work in that environment, right? But it's I think it is that exposure therapy type of thing where it's like just feeling it out. Like I don't know, the silence is, I think it's great. I think it's a cool tool I try to use, and that's where the heckling comes in, like where people were like, oh, I was trying to help the show, the silence. But the silence, it builds tension. It's fun. It keeps.
Yeah.
And there's a reason. There's space, right? I'm trying to.
It's called using a negative space, right?
Yeah.
Did we talk about this recently?
Mm-mm.
Talked to somebody else about it. I was trying to find the word. Yeah, it's using negative space.
Oh, maybe we did. Because I've talked about it with music too. Because I play a lot of music too. But it's it's
also,
not,
where are you on time? Do you got a dip right now?
I got to go pretty soon. Oh yeah, I do have to go pretty soon. Probably 3:10, so a couple minutes. But yeah, like the pacing, the cadence, what I'm saying, what I'm not saying, like right, that silence it's all integral to the performance, I guess, right? But
Well, it makes so much sense in music because it builds tension, and it makes sense in comedy too. It's like
same thing, yeah.
Mother dancing. I was watching that video of Alex Jones singing the song. There's one part of that song where it just pauses. And it's like, "You're about to see LA," and I'm like, I noticed like the third verse of it or whatever. They just stop the music for like 1 second, and the drum comes like boom, boom, and the comedy's the same way where it's like I have a joke like that where I started pausing aggressively before, and then I go, I like to be dominated sexually, and it's way funnier if it's completely silent in the room, and then I say that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying before. Like my sets, like if things crush, and then I move on, it's great. If it's total silence and I move on, it's great. But if it's like it's not. But whatever. I think because you imagine going to a comedy show, people are just talking, they're just rambling, they don't give you time to process. There's no, it's exhausting. Right?
Some people do it well though. Like I don't think I do it well. I actually watch myself stepping on punchlines
really?
because I add a tag that's not needed to try to sell the bit, and then it's like, oh, you could have just sat with that thought for a second, and then maybe it would have lasted a little more if you just. But you were so fast.
Yeah.
But I had a really bad one with that same joke where I was like, this crowd was heckling a bunch, and I just kind of try to put them in place. I shut them all up, and then I went, I like to be dominated sexually. And they just people were like, bro, you just like literally yelled at everybody and then told them basically you'd like to be fucked like a little bitch.
Yeah,
and that just gave them all the ammo they needed to all come back at me. After it was like I like plugged up the floodgate and then I just took a fucking thing out and they just fucking
Dude, that's awesome. Yeah, I don't know. I guess you're right. Some people are really good at just rapid fire. I don't know. It's too hard for me to do. I think at this I'm still obviously super new. But like because I don't want to step on my punchline, step on my laughs.
Yeah.
From like continue, but that's the goal. I want to be able to like keep talking. Boom, big laugh, bigger. I don't want a hard reset after every joke.
But everybody's got such a different style. There's no like clear way to do it. Like it's like some people. There's like no. I think the worst thing people could do is like I'm not good enough for this. Like that's always the thing. People are like,
oh yeah,
because I think a lot of people do that where people always be like, oh, so and so, like these open micers, oh, you're not Louis, you're not this, you're not that, you're not Jim Carrey. It's like, well, yeah, but those people had to get there at some point. So it's like, whatever, there's no like, oh, I'm not there yet, so I shouldn't try that, is like irrelevant. Like, I used to be like, I'm not good at crowd work, so I shouldn't do it.
Right.
And then I just was like, oh, no, I need to force myself to do it to get better at it. But there's literally no set way to do this. You could pause, you can not pause, just whatever makes the show better. But sounds like you got to get going.
Yeah, I do. I got a band practice.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. Where can they find
Cool.
you online? Zach is fucking hilarious. One of my favorite comedians in the scene.
Zach.Hesson. We'll put it on the big screen.
Yeah, we'll put
Zach.Hesson at oh wait, no. At Zach.Hesson Instagram. That's it.
or at yahoo.com.
Yeah, I almost said a website. Or email. No, don't email me.
Please email them.
Yeah, you can buy a sticker. I got stickers.
Fuck yeah. Buy the stickers. Thank you
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, see ya.